Yes, we're at work. It's episode 107 of Seddy Bimco, Part 2, The Revenge. And it is season 3 because we're touring the United States.
It is.
And George is out touring. He's touring and signing books because his new book is out.
He's not signing random books?
Yeah, he goes to stores and signs random books.
That's good.
He does that too. But he's on tour, so Mr. Cablasto is here from Spaghetti and Freddy.
That's right.
Yoli has loaned him to me again. Thank you, Yoli.
Yes. Also known from the Seddy Bimco podcast.
Yes,
at this point. So,
well, this week, before we get too derailed, so we can get to the song, this week, guess where we're going? We're going to Hawaii. Because Cablasto wanted to watch Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
I certainly did.
But I have an age-old question.
Yeah?
It's not going to be Batman. I've tried to give you Batman all the time, and you don't like them.
I love Batman.
But here's the age-old question.
Yeah.
You know Casper the Ghost?
I do.
Well, did Casper, the friendly ghost, did he ever get revenge on the people who wrote in his obituary, friendly ghost, but annoying kid?
That's good.
Good one, huh?
It's good. It's actually a good one.
It's Seddy Bimco Part 2, The Revenge. The show where we create revenge sequels that nobody wanted.
Seddy Bimco, Part 2, The Revenge, with our guest host, Kevin Cablasto. There, the show started. Oh, we have one more thing to do. Sorry.
Yes.
Before we relax and improv and get real funny.
Bedpan.
Every week. Yeah. So we're going to watch the movie Hard Ticket to Hawaii. And I'm going to pick a random number from a jar or a bedpan. We're going to say who from Hard Ticket from Hawaii. What character?
Yes.
What character would be most likely to find dead hippies in their Bolivia Airbnb? See, these are international questions because
gotcha.
We're doing the United States. You know where Bolivia is?
Nope. It sounds made up.
Yeah, it does sound made up.
Oh, you mean that country in South America?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, it borders Chile or Chile. If you're from New York. Yes?
Yeah, how are you? What's the next Spaghetti and Freddy movie? Can you tell me? That we haven't heard?
Yes, I can. Tim, I'm glad you asked. We're going to be reviewing Hollywood Dreams and Nightmares, the Robert Englund story from 2022.
Oh, okay.
So for us, it's a new one.
Yeah, I never saw that.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't.
Why? I like documentaries. I'll watch a documentary about...
I know, but it's modern. So you don't watch anything after 1970.
No.
No, I watched the Nickelodeon one that you made me watch.
I didn't make you watch that. I just asked you.
I know, but I was prepping for the show because, listen, to do this damn show, it's like,
homework.
It's like doing 2 years of college just for one damn episode. So, but
I didn't want to talk about that. That's sad. It's just sad.
Yeah, all you did was push me to sad, horrible things, and then have me on the show to not talk about them.
I still don't know your age. Did you watch Head of the Class? Oh wait, Saved by the Bell. It's called.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I watched Saved by the Bell.
Why? That's just past my time. It has no meaning for me. Okay. I never watched it. I grew up on Maude. That's my kids' show.
Oh, did you? I didn't know that. No one knew that, Tim.
That kids' show Maude.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember the episode where she got an abortion.
Listen.
There really was one. Yeah, I'm not joking.
Amazing. What was I going to say? No, I was in the car with Megan the other day, and we were talking about, Disney Afternoon, animated shows. And she was talking about how Animaniacs, she's never seen because it was on the same time as Golden Girls.
Oh, and reruns. Golden Girl reruns.
Maybe. What years did it run?
I don't know. Golden Girls, that was late 80s through the early 90s.
No, it was original then.
Wow.
Golden Girls run. That ran from 85 to 92. So no, it was probably original. Let me see what year. So anyway,
you got out of the car, you rolled up the windows, locked the doors,
basically,
walked away.
Yeah. She went to a friend's house, and she had a friend over, went to her friend's house, and they had to watch Animaniacs instead of Golden Girls. And
really,
this many years later, she's still holding a grudge.
Does she get the joke where they sing and Bill Clinton plays the sax?
Nope.
Did you have to explain that part?
Listen, the conversation ended very quickly. I knew it was going nowhere good.
Was that the only topical
no
lyric in the song? I forget.
Oh, in the song? Well, they also mixed up the lyric at the very end. That was kind of like, the Simpsons said the couch scene would be different. Same thing.
I see.
So they'd rhyme different things at the end.
So they would like reference OJ. You see that? Yeah.
Yep. It's a... if the glove don't fit, you must quit. Animaniacs. Yes. There you go.
There I go. I know you talk. You can talk.
I've got a lot to say about this movie.
We might as well go to the movie.
I think we should. Yes, I'm biting my tongue so we can actually talk about the movie.
Play the pretty music where they fly helicopter.
You should. The theme song.
So we are celebrating Hawaii.
In the business, we call that a theme song.
How much homework? Yeah. How much homework did you...
I fucking did it all, man.
Did on Hawaii.
Listen, people don't know this, but if I don't do the homework, Tim texts me like every hour with increasingly passive-aggressive messages. So
asking you how you are. You feel better?
Yes, exactly.
Hawaii, though. I got facts. Do you got facts?
I have facts as well.
Oh, I thought you'd skip that part and just go to the movie. Did you know that Hawaii is where Obama made his fake ID?
No, I did not know that.
Okay. Did you know Lost was filmed there?
What was?
Lost?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, right.
That show was before my time, Tim.
I got a free breakfast there. I've been to Hawaii.
I got a free breakfast at Lost?
Free pancake breakfast at a famous pancake place that I can't mention because I'm going to tell you how I got a free breakfast.
Okay.
We sat down to eat, and our seat kind of infested with cockroaches.
Oof.
They kept coming out and going in. So
horrible. Horrible.
They apologized, moved us to a table that wasn't a booth. It was a booth with the cushiony seats. That's where they were in. Okay. And got free breakfast.
I guess it's a good thing you wore your cockroach pants that day.
Yes.
you just clench them in your anus and then release them at the appropriate time. Yes.
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, your pants have a hole in them. Yeah, you let loose with the cockroaches.
Would you leave or eat the breakfast at another table, the free breakfast?
I would leave.
Wow.
I would be so grossed out by the cockroaches.
There wasn't much else open because we got up early because we booked the bus to go to a boat to go swim with dolphins. So that's what we did that day. We were the tourists that did that.
I can't talk about dolphins. I'm still thinking about cockroaches. So
dolphins are pretty gross too.
Are they?
And so what happened?
Oh God, you just rolled past that. People think that's editing, but no. Anyway.
So then when swimming with it was in the ocean. We jumped in snorkeling. My wife threw up in the water, got seasick. And all the fish came. Got to see all the fish.
So, no.
Because then they got a meal. This was like,
oh, God.
What a gross trip.
Was it the pancakes?
Probably.
Oh, God. Man. Like, this seems very Tim Hamilton. How to ruin a vacation. I know none of these things are your fault.
We still had fun. Come on. We swam, saw dolphins, saw a turtle.
Yeah, it's good. So wait, you can get she just got seasick from being in the water or the boat going to where you were diving?
The whole thing, I think. Okay. She does get seasick, and she took the pills that you could take. Mm-hmm. And I guess they wore off.
Gotcha. I'm going to leave this one alone. It's already gross, and I can make it more disgusting. So, all right. So
there's my Hawaiian facts.
It's funny because I had the same Hawaiian fun facts that Tim's wife threw up in the water there.
Really? Where'd you read that in Wikipedia?
It's on her wiki page actually.
Okay.
So I was going to tell you that entertainer and America's sweetheart Bette Midler was also born in Honolulu.
Oh, she was?
She was.
Was she born on, I don't know how old she is.
She is 36.
She is not.
Yep.
Is that what her Wikipedia page says?
Yeah. Did you know that it was named the 50th state in 1959?
Yeah, I think I knew that.
It's the most isolated population center on Earth. I think they wrote that wrong because they haven't been populated. It's about 2,400 miles from the mainland.
The most isolated population except for comic book creators. Because I've been one of those.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Perfect transition.
Yeah.
Molokai was a leper colony.
What transition is that? Leper comic book creators?
Gotcha. Do you know that Samuel Langhorne Clemens died in Hawaii?
Mr. Mark Twain?
Oh, is that the same person?
I didn't know he died in Hawaii. Wow, I did not know that. Did he go there because he was sick and thought he'd feel better?
Yep.
Really?
Sure.
You don't know.
I say, boy.
That's not how he talks.
I say, you best get me to Hawaii, boy. I'm not feeling so good. I'm sorry. I threw up in your water here in Hawaii, in your beautiful Hawaii water. Oh, here come all the fishes. Look at all the colors, boy.
That doesn't sound like him.
It does.
You're doing Foghorn Leghorn.
No one knows what Mark Twain sounded like.
Do you have any more facts so we can get to this movie?
Hawaii is the Aloha state. No one knows what that translates to.
No, I don't know what that means.
Nope, neither do I. I don't speak Hawaii.
So I started watching this movie with not looking anything up. I said, I'm just going to look it up later because I could watch it on the TV. Mm-hmm. And my wife was reading. I said, do you want to watch this? Yes. I know it's going to be terrible.
Okay.
And the first thing she said was, these are all just Playboy models, right? Mm-hmm. And I looked it up later. All the women in this movie were either Playboy or Hustler.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think I read that.
It could be.
Oh, you know.
I know that. I know that they're.
There's a poster on the wall behind you.
It's literally
Playboy centerfold.
And I wrote in. I cut out the cover of the logo, and yes. I pasted Playboy or Hustler on them, so I know where they came from. So, and apparently the dudes went on to do soap operas. The main guy was in a soap opera. Yeah,
the male actors.
Yep.
Jade and Rowdy. We can say that.
Yeah, Rowdy. That guy, I guess, went on to do, I don't know, The Bold and the Beautiful or something. I don't know my soap operas. But, yeah. And the women were from Playboy. So the director, Andy Sedaris, is known for Bullets, Bombs, and Babes. That's his go-to thing.
I know he had these other movies. The other one that some other podcast watched.
Yes.
What was that called?
The other movie? Probably Malibu Express.
Yes.
That's the one that came before this.
Because the people in this movie own that poster.
Yes, they do.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead.
No, you're fine. And they also, they show the boat called the Malibu Express right at the beginning, too.
With badly dubbed kissing sounds. My wife said, someone's kissing their arm.
And that was you?
Yeah, I said yes. I'm a very good Foley artist.
You're like, I forgot to start the movie.
That's what happened.
I will say this, bad dub aside, the production on these movies, or this movie, now you watched it on Tubi, I'm guessing?
No, I paid $2 so I could sit in front of the TV instead of the computer.
Okay. Oh, you don't have Tubi on here? Listen,
$1.99.
I'm not going to get into technical stuff with you. Anyway.
Yeah, you UIT people are just way above my head.
You're the worst. No, you're right. You're right, Tim. I watched it on Blu-ray because I bought this movie.
Wow.
Yes. And Blu-ray looks fantastic. Did yours look good at least?
It did look good.
Okay.
It was nice photography of Hawaii.
Yep. So regardless, just for you viewers at home, because most of the movies Tim picks for this show are abysmal, and it looks like you're watching them through I don't know,
16 millimeter projected on a wall.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. So
a yellow wall.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
With wallpaper patterns. And a calendar.
Yes.
The Playboy centerfold.
Yes.
At Cablasto's house. That's what it's like.
Anyway, Andy Sedaris, Bullets, Bombs, and Babes. So he's the writer-director. His wife is the producer. It's the two of them tag team.
And was she in it too?
She's not in it. He was in it. And I want to shout out my brush with fame here. I actually got an email from her within an hour of us recording this episode.
What?
Yep.
Why?
Because I messaged her on the website, and there's one of his movies that's out of print right now, and I asked if it was going to come back in print.
Oh.
And she said she's looking for a new distributor. So I'm not going to say which of the movies it is because I don't want competition of buying a copy. So
now, see, this is why I like to watch movies where people are dead, because now I'm self-conscious. She's going to listen to this.
She very well could. So she seems like a very nice lady, very intelligent lady.
But with all these movies you pick, I found out I have the same question of all the movies you pick, where I'm like, why didn't they go all the way super action, or why didn't they just go all the way and hire a comedian to write more jokes?
What do you mean? You weren't cracking up at the scenes that were obviously just thrown in there to be comedic?
But that's my question. We'll get to it.
Okay.
We'll get to some examples where I'm like, okay, one example in this movie.
Yes.
And that's obviously a joke. I hope they know it's a joke.
I'm already dying.
The two ladies are like, we need to think. Let's take our tops off and get in the hot tub.
Uh-huh. Well, to be fair.
So I'm saying, why didn't they do that 6 more times? Because I'm like, why didn't they just hammer that joke home? Because, to be fair, what? You didn't find that funny?
No.
You found it insulting to your intelligence?
No, that joke is repeated throughout the series.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, there.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yep.
Good job, people.
Yep. Yeah, literally, I think in this movie they say, I think best in the hot tub. And in another movie they say, I think best in the sauna. So that joke is repeated throughout the series. But there's...
And then no one says, I think best in the toilet?
The snakes do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And George says that. Shout out to George.
Yes. But no, there's jokes within... I use jokes very loosely in this movie, and it's just... It's like a punch to the gut watching those scenes.
The jokes were, I have to say, the stuff you hear in high school. That's all. Some of them, a lot of them.
Well, it's that, or it's like the equivalent of a knock-knock joke.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me find one of them.
No, I wrote them down.
I did too. Here we go. I will read one.
Well, okay.
Okay. So the character Jade, who's a man, we'll go over these characters. Don't worry. He comes out of a hospital and says, I've got some bad news and some good news. Bad news is I'm going to be sore for a while. Good news is there's a great looking nurse in there and she's extremely helpful. Yeah. And his partner Rowdy says, how helpful? Jade says, well, she kept me in stitches. I made my friends watch this movie.
Oh my God.
And
your friends.
Well, whatever. Listen, you invite me to a party and you better know what you're getting into.
I'm telling people at home, you're doing those quote things when you say friends. You're making quote signs with your fingers.
I'm doing nothing of the sort. I have my fingers placed firmly underneath my armpits just to do nothing with them.
So let's start. Try to go over the movie a little bit.
Well, let me finish my friend's story.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I had my friends watch it, which, I got questions of, you paid for this movie, et cetera, et cetera. But then a friend of mine afterward told another person that we watched this movie, and someone said, you actually sat through the whole movie? That's a movie that you only watch as clips on YouTube.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, that being said, this is my third time watching the movie. And it gets better with age. So why don't you do a synopsis?
I didn't write a synopsis.
Oh, you don't have to. Then we can just talk about it.
It's Jade and Rowdy who work for the government.
Okay, let's reverse this.
Karen.
Let's reverse.
I'm going to call her Karen.
No, you're not. It is this movie.
Let's reverse this.
This movie is about Donna and Taryn.
Okay, I'll try to remember Taryn.
And the guys are extra. It's really the ladies. This is a movie about ladies getting it done.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Tara, she works for the government, right? And Donna doesn't. She's a civilian.
No. Jesus Christ, man. Did you take notes?
Did I get them backwards?
Yes, you did.
What?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I totally thought Donna was...
So Donna with 2 N's is played by Donna with 1 N.
Right.
And then Taryn is in witness protection, and she becomes the partner of Donna. She's just a civilian, but she
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so she is. You know why you didn't catch it? Because she described it when she walked from the beach, and then she was topless, washing herself off in an outside shower. And so anyway, she said basically that the mob, she basically was a witness for the mob, and now she's in protection. And so they sent her to Hawaii.
This is Taryn.
Yeah.
Taryn. My subtitle, my closed captioning said Karen all the time.
I'm not.
And then one time it said Tara.
Yeah, that's awful, especially considering you paid for it. So.
Yeah, you got me miscamboobled.
So you're speaking of miscamboobled. I checked, and it's under 1:30 before you see your first pair of boobs. And it was Donna. You mentioned Donna and Rowdy are a couple. Donna gets sent off to Hawaii, and I don't know. There's some sort of some sort of agents.
The movie also starts with Bobby and Henry doing their patrol. They leave their guns behind in their boat, and they're like, "There's some family growing marijuana here. They give me some. I look the other way." And they get there, and it's a big operation, and they panic, and they run right into a trap where they're hung upside down.
Yep.
Drug dealers shoot holes in them.
And they've run into some worse drug dealers. And
so, kids, this is back when marijuana was illegal.
It's true. What was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Something like that. So anyway. Yeah.
Then we go to a warehouse and see the credits.
Uh-huh.
That was clever.
It was. And in the director's commentary, I did not listen to a lot of it, maybe like 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. But they were talking about, it was the director and his wife and, the producer. And they were talking about how this only cost us $20.
I can see that.
Yes, because it was just brown paper on crates. And
they should have stuck one in there that said Ark of the Covenant. That place looked like that warehouse.
Seriously. That's good.
At the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I will say this, though. They at least did something clever with the credits, where it's basically, worked into the events of the film.
Worked into this plot, this inexplicable plot.
Yes.
They broke open a box that had a snake, right?
Listen,
it was confusing.
Yes. Yeah, so for whatever reason, there's a snake there that is supposed to be sent somewhere, and it has like a,
to a wildlife preserve.
Sure. And it has a toxic message on it. There's two snakes in there, first of all. Yeah, there's two snakes. And Dixon, the guy running the place, I just want to say his name.
He looks like Michael Caine stand-in.
He does. So they have two live snakes. One of the guys with the forklift accidentally rips off the caution contamination sign, and that's on the floor. So they load the wrong snakes into the plane that the girls are flying, Donna and Taryn, and they're taking some honeymooners with a poisonous toxic snake. Yes, but to be fair, it wasn't. They didn't know it was a poisonous.
That's right. Sorry,
toxic snake, because someone covered up the correct snake and they loaded the wrong one. But the snake is insane.
It's a snake on a plane.
It is.
Why didn't they should have taken advantage of that.
It is. It's insane looking.
It's a puppet.
It's a rat. It's like a rabbit puppet, though.
Yeah, I think Jim Henson worked on it. It's a very nice puppet.
R.I.P. It was actually the last thing he worked on.
Yes, I think so. Oh.
So we're talking about this crazy snake. We later find out that it has deadly toxins from cancer-infested rats.
I know.
I love that line. I love that line.
I really want to know how that happened.
Oh, my God. It's amazing.
It's a prequel.
Oh, my God.
I don't know where they talk about it, but these two ladies talk a lot about James Bond and which one's their favorite.
Yes.
And they won't say.
It's actually right before they get on the plane to go flying. Because Taryn is basically saying, like, oh, feels like I'm in a James Bond movie. But yeah.
You like James Bond movies?
In theory I did. And then I started to try to watch more of them. And I don't know. I've got some nostalgia, but otherwise, I like the Daniel Craig ones a good amount of them.
How about the Barry Nelson one?
I don't know that one. Which?
Do you know that was the first man to play him?
Are you talking
on
like
TV in 1954?
You're not talking about like the original Casino Royale movie, are you?
It was a live TV production, 1954.
Oh, okay. Huh.
I owned it. I won it on the radio. I owned a VHS of it.
And how was it?
But then they became extinct, so I don't have it anymore.
You're the worst. How was it? How was it?
It was live, so it was weird, well done for then, but it was just in the casino. And then I remember it being in a bathroom and somebody's going to cut his finger or toe off.
Sounds like they mashed scenes together.
Yeah.
Of what became the new version.
She couldn't name her favorite James Bond movie. I was like, why?
No, I don't think it was favorite James Bond movie, favorite James Bond.
Oh, yes, because these ladies are talking about who they want to sleep with.
Yes.
As ladies do. We know that's what they talk about when we're not around.
Well, later they make a comparison and say, you shot this one guy, you failed, or I failed. And she's like, no, you did good. Of course, James Bond would have shot 3 of them. And then he would have come in there and jumped our bones. Yeah. And then Taryn's like, yeah, but me first.
Right.
It's like,
they're fighting over an imaginary scenario.
And that's like the punchline, too. Oh, that was it. Oh, wait, no, there's more. Because I did write it down. I looked. She said, yep, me first, of course. And then they said, pals. Like calling each other pals. And I think they high-fived. Sorry. Yeah. Upstate New York accent. And, and then they high-fived.
Then she said, really, my favorite movies are the Benji movies. Because you know those movies, right?
No. The dog?
There's 6.
Yeah, I didn't watch them. I didn't want to.
Benji Off the Leash, Benji the Hunted, Benji Takes a Dive in Marineland, Benji at Work, and Benji Kills Again. There's 6 of those.
Oh, my God. This must have been Jesus. Okay, was this a list that you had canceled from another episode?
No, I'm just telling you about it.
I mean,
am I not making sense?
No.
So they fly. We have some nice music. They fly.
Am I not
trying to move it along?
You saying "Am I not making sense"? That's the show opener. Anyway, continue.
They land. Yeah. This confused me.
Okay.
They land with the snake.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, here's the book, so they know how to take care of a snake. And it's a zoo or a wildlife preserve.
I don't know.
Why do they need a book?
I don't know, man. It's with the snake. It's shipping with the snake. They pull it off of the crate. It
was like the library book about snakes that I got out of the library when I was in 6th grade.
Yeah. Or those cards. They came in the little box.
Yeah. So they bring their couple. And the couple's like, we're going to be alone, right? We want to be alone.
Yes.
They're very, they want to be alone with the wildlife.
Yes.
Anyway, he was suspicious about wanting to be alone. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Anyway.
I don't know what you're building up to other than
nothing.
Him taking Polaroids of his wife.
Well, that's later.
Yes.
He's allowed to do that.
Yes.
But again, he was way into that.
Mm-hmm. He got a little aggressive, but continue.
Yes. So then we meet our drug lord, Mr. Chang, and he sends a remote control helicopter because he says this is a great method, and we find out later it's how they pay for their drugs.
He said it's always worked.
Diamonds and a little helicopter.
Yep.
With those Hawaiian winds. I don't think that's a good idea.
No. Well, it's technology that we don't understand. We don't want to understand. We can't understand. So
is that your Pee Wee Herman line?
Yes. Yeah. Like
you should understand.
Who is that? Who just joined the show?
Yeah.
Paul Rubens, is that you?
I can't do him.
Yeah. Mark Twain you can do.
Mark Twain.
That's not Mark Twain's voice. That's you. Literally articles about how there's no recordings of Mark Twain's voice. That's not his voice.
That we know of.
Yes. Anyway, continue.
So this helicopter lands, and our two heroes, Donna and Kieran.
Whatever.
They're like, look out, it's coming our way.
Mm-hmm. No. They're like, what is this? It's a toy.
Yeah, but then they're like, look out, it's coming.
Sure. Sure, Tim.
The two drug dealers show up. Luckily, it's just two of them, 2 of each. And suddenly these ladies, they have nunchucks and throwing stars.
Nunchucks with an N.
Nunchucks?
Yes, it's time.
These ladies suddenly have nunchucks?
Yes, you're 64. It's time zone corrects you. So, yeah.
And throwing stars?
Yeah.
They have a fight.
She pulls a throwing star from her boot. Yep.
Yes, that's right.
It's amazing. Our main baddies here that we saw earlier, he's not here in the scene, but we have Shotgun Guy, who we found out later is called Shades. Yes.
Because he wears sunglasses.
Yes. Although the fat guy also wears sunglasses. And I don't think they ever officially give him a name.
That gets beat up by the women?
Yes. He's the one that gets the shuriken in him. Yeah.
Is that a throwing star?
It is.
They run home they have one of the cases of diamonds. The other one gets lost.
Yes.
This is when they go home and they're just like, wow, we got to find out what's going on. We better think and like get in the jacuzzi together.
So they put the snake in like a shed.
Garage.
A shed, yeah.
That's how you take care of a snake.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know why they even brought the snake in the plane to begin with, because they flew and then flew back, and then they still have the snake.
No, I think they're bringing it to that island. To the
later?
The wild, later. They just got attacked by guys. Come on.
Sure. And so they have enough time to go jump in the hot tub, get topless, figure out what's in this box, and then just leave the snake in the, hanging out. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. Then we're introduced to Jade and Rowdy.
Yes.
In a scene,
you will act out verbatim.
I don't know what to say about it. Yeah.
Okay.
They do some very racist Asian voices and karate.
They
do karate sounds as they practice karate. I guess they know karate.
See these hands? These hands are lethal weapons.
It's very awful. Yes. They're practicing martial arts, and yes, you said it. I don't need to go any further. So,
and then somebody delivers them a sandwich.
Yeah,
in a styrofoam case.
The sushi man, they call him. The sandwich.
He rides a bike.
He rides a bike, and in a styrofoam case, he has a sandwich with a piece of paper in it.
That's not sushi.
No. Well, he even says, "I wish it'd be a spring roll," but it's a sandwich.
They're hungry.
Yeah, and then they burn the note. Very, very Mission Impossible. You know?
Yeah, and styrofoam though it barely burns. And I'm like, that's toxic.
Yeah.
Do these guys do that all the time? That's why they're so stupid.
Listen, they didn't know back then.
They knew. They once got a note, but it was put in a dark chocolate and coffee ice cream sandwich, and the message was a bittersweet one.
Oh,
gotcha.
You're the one complaining about the jokes in this movie, and then Jesus. Oh my God! It's that gut punch again.
Yes, that's a gut punch.
Oh my God!
At least it's not about boobs. Come on.
It's true. It's true. I have many lines about boobs written down.
Yes.
So anyway,
there's one about measuring a dick, and it took me a while to understand. She didn't tell the joke right.
No, she did. I wrote it down.
Do you get it?
Yes.
No, here's what she said.
Okay, go ahead.
She's talking about her boyfriend having a 4-inch dick, and I think either Donna or Kieran's like, that's not very long. And she goes, well, I measured it from the floor up.
Okay.
I was like, I think you mean it's hanging down and you measured the space?
Yes. So they talk about Rowdy's genitals.
It's not a good joke.
No. So in that scene, this is actually the next scene, coincidentally.
Yeah, as I see it here.
So they have a Malibu Express poster on the wall. They talk about Rowdy's genitals. And Terrence says, how's his stuff? And then Donna says, he's got 4 inches. 4 inches? That's not so hot. Yes, it is. I measured him from the ground up. And then she tussles Terrence's hair. Listen, if you were...
when she said, how's his stuff? She should have said, oh, it's double stuff.
Oh, God. Mega stuff.
It's mega stuff. Yeah.
Good. Since you listen, I can't buy Oreos without thinking about you and George now judging me harshly. So
we judge you harshly. It's true.
Megan was buying some for an Easter thing she's putting together, and
you got to buy the thin stuff.
No, you guys buy those. You can not live your life to the fullest.
Oh, I had a meeting. Okay,
no,
it's not a brag. This is my meeting with my editor. Mm-hmm. You know what she gave me?
What?
A box of Girl Scout cookies because she can't eat them all. I'm like, come on, I can't eat these either. But I couldn't resist because you know what they were.
Thin Mint.
Yep.
Okay.
Thin Mints, they're hidden.
They're good.
My wife's not going to know anything about them.
Listen, I had a whole situation of hiding candy from a kid this weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But get good at magic.
Why are you doing that?
Because
just to be mean?
No, it turned into a situation of her eating something she wasn't supposed to, and then it was the condition was she couldn't have it until Mom said she could, and she was going to eat it whenever she wanted, and so I had to be the heavy because Mom was driving and steal the food away, and then stash it. She was tearing the house apart looking for it. So,
wow.
Yep. She's like, is it in here?
Domestic strife.
As she reaches her hand into the...
bedpan.
Yes, the bedpan. No, the food disposal.
Oh, the food disposal.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, it's at the very bottom. You got to get in there up to the shoulder.
You got to turn on the light so you can see.
That's right. I don't remember which switch it is. You'll figure it out.
Jeez.
Anyway. Yes. So
in my notes here.
Very funny joke. Yep. They hid the diamonds in the freezer because after all, it's ice.
Yes. In my notes that the two men with ski masks come to the house to get those diamonds.
I like how you write men when it's obviously a woman.
Oh.
Is one of them.
Yeah, one of them's a woman. Sorry. Yeah. I forgot. They had ski masks on. Yeah. I don't see gender.
You could see through the ski masks, which is the reason I bring it up.
This movie was confusing to me because I don't see gender.
Oh, boy. Why does that man have such large fake boobs?
Yes.
Just kept asking your wife.
So they have quite a drawn-out fight.
Yes.
During this fight, they release the snake, right?
Someone gets crashed into the crate. Yes, and the snake gets loose. I have to mention there's a woman here because this is a trend in this movie. This woman has nunchucks, and she is just hitting someone with them. They're both together, and she's just hitting someone with them. That's something
wrong?
You see a lot. Yes, it's very wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't use it like a baton. They're chained together for a reason. You're supposed to use the force of moving them.
Use the force?
Yes,
I got it.
Yes. You're probably too old for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but there was a turtle named Leonardo, and
is this where you learned your karate?
Yeah, and he had nunchucks.
Is there a YouTube video of you somewhere using nunchucks?
Yep.
Nunchucks correctly?
You didn't correct me on Leonardo. You don't know what
Isn't that his name?
Oh my God!
Every turtle uses karate and swords and nunchucks, right? Every turtle.
No, Tim, you're the worst. Each turtle has its own weapon.
Oh, okay.
Do you not know this for real?
One of them spins around and shoots fire.
Yeah. Are you talking about Gamera?
One of them tumbles back in time.
Yes. God.
Who else? One of them races a rabbit.
Okay.
I think I got them all.
Do you not have lists for this episode, or have we just not got there?
We're just there now. The snake escapes.
The snake escapes.
God.
Yes.
And Seth, the drug dealer, he's outside. He sent the guys in, right?
Yes.
But he's
standing by the car.
I know it's seen. You're going to know what I mean. But he's by the car, 20 feet away from the snake. He sees the snake and he just loses his shit.
Yeah.
And starts shooting, going, snake.
Yeah. And that's what alerts them to leave.
He might be even 30 feet away the way they did the camera. Yes. I don't know. So, yeah, he shoots the snake, gets in the car, runs away.
Shoots at the snake, but
wets his pants.
He gets shot in the face.
And he gets shot in the face by Kieran or Donna.
So they alert. He shoots at the snake and alerts the other people. They get the diamonds. They leave. Donna shoots at him, hits him in the face, and he's shot in the face. Yeah. And then he gets into the back of the car. Anyway.
Well, I have a list of reasons why he's so afraid of snakes.
Let's hear it. Okay.
Why is Seth so afraid of snakes? Well, I got one reason. One big reason he's afraid of snakes.
Hey, Tim.
Indiana Jones is his favorite character, and he tried as hard as he could to be just like him. There you go.
That was fantastic. Thank you.
Here's where we find out that he keeps the man who runs the warehouse. He keeps calling, and he says,
Dixon. Yep.
Yeah, the snake is infested by venom from cancer-infected rats.
Deadly toxin from cancer-infested rats.
Yeah. See, I wrote it down correctly. Why'd that have to be sent somewhere? I would just kill that snake.
They also...
Where is it going?
They learn later. I don't know. Maybe they are figuring out how the hell a snake gets infested. and so they, want to do a study on it.
So now they go to Edie's restaurant, right?
Sure. Let me actually... They go to Edie's, actually. Yep.
And we meet Ashley.
Yes.
Oh, Ashley.
Yep.
He's a man. He's the hostess. And he simply says
is he the hostess or the host?
I don't see gender.
Okay.
I like to think he's not human.
Yeah, seriously.
He greets every woman with a sexist joke or remark, or introduces them as their boobs, as he did with one woman.
Mm-hmm.
See, and again, why didn't they go all the way with that joke? I would have shown him running back to the kitchen, getting his little book and reading it. And the book is called like How to Pick Up Women by Andrew Dice Clay or something. Come on.
By the way,
come on, go all the way with that joke.
By the way, we also did skip over the first Edie's scene.
Oh, well.
Where we introduced the director.
Oh, and he's the director of this film, and he's in the movie.
He is. And this woman, Charlotte, shows up, and he's saying, Charlotte, thank you for showing up. I'm not just a fast-talking New York television director. I'm really sorry. And she's like, you practically raped me last night, which you can't throw rape in as a joke for a punchline. And he goes, that was last night. This is today. I care for your mind. I don't care for your body. And the lady comes over to take his order, and he stares at her boobs and goes, I'll have a pair of coffee.
Yes.
And that's the joke.
That's the joke.
That's the joke.
Yeah, see, rape wasn't the joke.
No.
That was the joke.
But there is a good line that follows. The thugs come up, and they meet up with, what's his name? The guy that just got shot in the face. This was before he got shot.
Oh, Seth. Okay.
Yeah. And they run up to him, and he says, if brains were bird shit, you'd have a clean cage.
Yes, I remember that.
And the heavier man has a dangly skeleton earring. It's an entire skeleton. It's amazing.
I didn't see that.
Yes.
Wow, well, you got the Blu-ray, so.
I do. And honestly, yes, that was a detail that was probably blurred out in yours. Yes.
Then we have a guy who must have paid for a cameo. Unless I confuse these people. They're all either blonde or brunette, and they're just muscle guys.
Oh, yeah.
He talks about all the vitamins he takes.
Yeah.
Did he show up again, or is that just his scene?
No, that's the scene that's coming up now. Okay. So anyway, you first go to Edie's, and you see the host slap the waitress on the butt, and then he says to Donna and Taryn, I'm going to give you the best seat in the house, right here in my face. Yeah. And then she says, why? Is your nose bigger than your dick?
All right.
Yeah. And
these jokes.
Yeah. And then she says, Ashley, and I wrote the man. So I could get my gender straight. She said, we love you. And they go to visit Edie, the owner, the proprietor.
Yes.
And they say, Edie's in her private booth. So they go to talk to Edie, and Edie is just sitting at a table in the middle of the room. And they say, Edie, we got to talk. And she says, no one can hear us here.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I don't know how Ashley kept that job.
Here's the thing. Is Ashley the name of the waitress who he said, I'll have two pairs of coffee or two, whatever?
No, Ashley's the hostess.
Ashley's the hostess. Oh, shit, you're right.
The man.
Yeah.
Keep your gender straight.
I don't see what gender. We do have to mention that there's a quote-unquote lady behind the bar that so they basically say, like, hey, we've got to tell you info. Let's go to our private room and find out that the person behind the bar is listening into this conversation.
Can I tell you what my wife said not long after?
Yeah.
Close-ups on the lady behind the bar?
Go for it.
First she said, whoa, what a makeup job. And then she said, oh, that's a man.
She didn't Austin Power it? It's a man, baby.
She usually does. But
yes. She normally talks like Austin Powers 24/7. It's the one time she broke character. Yeah. So yeah, good for her. I have the Blu-ray, and I was like, "Who is that babe?" I watched it with Megan once, and I'm like, "Why can't you be a woman like that?" Right. That nice big Adam's apple. Okay, so yeah, we get to your. I wrote throwaway comedy scene in my notes. Jimmy John Jackson comes in, and he's a Southern cable network TV guy, and he sits with two ball players.
Right.
And so he calls the waitress over, and he says, patty cakes, tall water. And I thought he was just being sexist pig. That's the character's name. It's in the credits.
Oh,
yeah, it's in the credits. So anyway. And
the woman's name is Patty Cakes.
Patty Cakes. That's her character's name. So I figured, I did not write this down because I figured you would have it. But he goes through this long-ass explanation of all the vitamins he's taking.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned that.
No,
the guy taking all the vitamins.
Yeah. And he says, like, green and yellow iridescent urine, that'll earn you the respect in every restroom after taking, like, some vitamin C. He just, like, he has a story for every pill he takes. And then then the punchline is one of the other dudes, after saying nothing, goes to eat his milkshake and says, Man, I sure love soul food.
I did write that down.
I figured you'd write down all of that. Yeah.
I think I turned to my wife. I said, "What?" She was reading a book at this point.
Yes.
Like, is that soul food? A milkshake?
She was reading Mein Kampf. Yeah.
No. Don't drag her into that world.
She was reading one of George's books.
She was reading How to Pick Up Women by Andrew Dice Clay.
That's good.
So then we go to, I just wrote skateboard chase.
Okay, I'll get us there very quick. So yeah, they talk to the guys. The guys say that they're coming and they're bringing their box of toys. And then Jade, who is the worst fucking character in this movie, he's just and Ashley's pretty much right there with him, if not worse.
And Jade has a ponytail.
And says,
which is okay, but sorry, go ahead.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. After Jade.
And says, and by the way, Edie, speaking of toys, I can't wait to see yours. Which is like the weirdest innuendo. And then the ladies go, what a stud. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. By the way, the character behind the bar, the he-she, is
simply a man.
It is a man. I'm not being politically incorrect.
Just
people.
Trying to get
It's just as a spoiler alert. It is a man dressed as a woman who is working for the bad guys undercover. Just to get that out there. Who cares about spoilers?
Just get this plot going.
Yeah. Whitey.
And the whole plot, by the way, is because what is the plot? Someone's got the diamonds that they paid for with the drugs.
I guess go for it, Tim.
They find out the two ladies have some of the diamonds.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why a spy's in the bar. That's my why.
Well, I don't know either because there
was nothing going on until diamonds disappeared.
Exactly. They were working
a day ago.
They were working there before the diamonds even happened. So two diamonds fell out of the plane because they got ambushed. So one of the diamonds is just sitting in the grass.
Yes.
And then the other diamond they had. And so they want the other diamonds. There you go. Anyway, Ashley has the line now. So Whitey comes in, who is the guy who was saying I'll have a pair of coffee earlier. We find out that he's connected to this other guy, JJJ. Triple J.
JJJ.
Yep. Jimmy John Jackson.
Yes.
And sounds like a character you'd make up.
Yes.
Anyway.
I thought that.
So Whitey is played by the director, and Ashley says, Whitey comes in and says, hey, Whitey. He's talking about Patty Cakes or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
He says, hey, Whitey, you go down on her. You're going to be kissing the back of my head because I'm already going to be there. I think you know what I mean.
Yeah. Does he say that?
Yes. Yes.
I got the joke the first time.
Yes. He says all that. He says, I think you know what I mean. And I wrote talking about the poor waitress who I don't think has a single line in the entire movie. So, Tim, then Taryn goes and says hi to the sportscaster guy, and then we jump to a sequence of them drinking wine shirtless on the beach and having sex. Yep. And I said, I get that this movie is horny, but come on. I said,
and she says, Whitey, I'm not usually this easy, because that's what the closed captioning was stuck that way for like 5 minutes.
Amazing. That wasn't on mine. Oh my God. So then she gets called back, and then the guys show up and they say, there's the car that Edie left for us. The Jeep. So they're in the Jeep and they're driving to meet the rest of the gang. And
do you mean the girls?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Jade and Rowdy, the two guys, are in the Jeep. And Jade says, I can't wait to see Edie. She's mighty fine. Nothing like my first wife. She used to mow the lawn stark naked. And then Rowdy says, what'd your neighbors say? And then Jade said, they say I married her for her money. And then there's like a pause for like laughter. And then Rowdy goes, so did you?
Yeah.
It's so fucking amazing. And then
my question again, you have the commentary.
Yeah. I haven't got that far yet, but yes, go ahead.
Well, I'm just curious, the people that made the movie, first of all, they spent an okay amount of money.
Sure.
They hired a helicopter, an airplane.
I'm listening. I might be able to answer your question.
I still don't know. Did they think, hey, we're making a cool action movie? Or were they also like, oh, it's just comedy? And
they knew what they were making.
Oh, okay.
They knew that they basically said, like, in one of the behind the scenes things, they said like these people aren't going to be, you know, on stage. Our actors and stuff aren't going to be on stage in London or whatever. But they're like, but for what we're doing, like comparable to soap operas and this and that, for this type of movie, like the level of it, they're like, they're good. They're good for what they do, is basically what they said. But there's a quote from the director where he said, first of all, he said, I write these pictures in a few days.
Wow.
In a few days, but it takes me months to think of them. And then he said, it's not Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, but have you ever seen them in a bra or a G-string? So it's just all about good-looking people, you know, walking around and doing what they're doing.
I think he wrote it in a fugue state, not a few days.
So now we're getting to one of my two favorite parts of the movie. Jade says, hang on, Rowdy, we got some nutcase in front of us. And a guy goes skateboarding by them on his hands, which is impressive.
It is.
So impressive that I made sure to write down that there was a credit at the end of the movie, skateboard stunts by Russell Howell.
I saw that too.
Yeah, rightfully credited. And he says, man, he must be smoking some heavy doobies. So, which is what I say whenever I listen to Seddy Bimco and hear you guys recording.
Right.
So,
or you see someone doing skateboard tricks.
It's true. Heavy doobies. So skateboard, weird. It did autocorrect. It says skateboard guy humps in the back of a car with a heavy man. I meant to write jump. So let's leave it as is.
Because the guy's like, hurry up, hurry up.
Yeah. So he jumps into the back of the car, and Jade's like, I think they're gone now.
But what's in the driver's side seat? We see that pretty clearly.
So there's a blow-up doll, which the heavier man gives to the guy on the skateboard, and he goes, and he says, here's the gun, skater. So now we have shades, we have skater, and he says, here's the gun, skater, blow them away. And he says, no problem, baby. He does not talk like that, but I only have so many voices.
I heard him say it.
He did say that. He is a very white guy with blonde hair on top and then dark hair underneath and a big mustache.
Ooh.
So
how do you know?
That's good. That's good. See, that's a better joke than than any of the jokes in this movie. So he has a blow-up doll and a shotgun.
Yeah.
So and logically,
inexplicable.
Yes. And so he comes at them and he shoots at them. Now, once again, I had the Blu-ray. And I've seen this movie a few times, so I wasn't lost in the scene. But I paused it and did frame by frame. First of all, he shoots and he just hits by like the tire. He hits under there. And I could see an actual bullet that bounced off of it and hit the ground. Yes.
So?
Yes, there's definitely.
Well, they filmed it with no people around, close up the tire.
Sure. I mean,
they have their bullet expert there.
I guess so. I mean, the Jeep was going, the road was moving.
Yeah.
So kind of impressive. But also from that, Jade gets hit, which later they say it's shrapnel, which makes no sense. None of it makes sense. Sorry that doesn't make sense.
Shrapnel from the inflatable doll, maybe.
I guess so. So somehow he gets hit.
Inflatable sex doll, we're saying. We did say that.
Okay.
It's a inflatable naked woman.
Yes.
If we weren't clear. I think kids today, they don't know about these things.
Yeah, kids listen to this podcast.
Kids today, they buy those flesh-like real dolls. They don't know what inflatable dolls are.
I was going to say, you almost had a sponsor here. Anyway, so Rowdy says, let's get that turkey. And he jumps into the back and pulls out a bazooka.
Right.
And they back up to hit the guy with the Jeep. He goes flying into the air, and they shoot him with the rocket. And I will send you screenshots. I freeze framed it and walked through it.
You can see the dummy.
Oh my God. It's an amazing dummy. And you can see like the wire that it's hanging on. But amazing explosion takes up your full screen.
Yeah.
And then past that though, the blow-up doll is still in the air, and he turns and blows up the blow-up doll with another bazooka.
Yes.
So
good scene.
It's a great scene. So
what's his name?
Which one, Rowdy or Jade?
The skateboard kid.
Skate. I think it was.
Skate. His name is Skate.
Skater. Yeah.
Skater. All right.
So, but this is very relevant to the plot, I guess. Recurring theme. Jade is
Bazooka,
like, the bazooka, Rowdy? Said it's the only gun I can hit a moving target with. So anyway, and then
Skater.
And they said, whatever happened to the skateboard? I don't know. I guess I let it get away. And it shows the skateboard just going off into the distance.
That was a weird shot.
It was amazing. It was so good.
Skater, I got to tell you something.
Yeah, do it.
Why did he have that inflatable doll?
I don't know. Tim, why did he have the inflatable doll?
I have a list of other things he used the inflatable doll for.
Okay. I'm excited to hear your excellent
This
list.
is a better one.
Good.
He brings her to Chuck E. Cheese with him because he feels he looks creepy when he's at Chuck E. Cheese alone.
That's good. That was actually,
saw it coming.
Well, I mean, as soon as you said it felt creepy.
He likes to bring her to the petting zoo so he can scare her by taking her to the porcupine pen.
That's pretty good.
He also brings her to orgies because he hates to have sex alone. There you go.
Good job.
Now we go to the vacationing couple, right?
Yes, we do.
And he's like way into taking pictures of her, demanding how she poses.
Go ahead, get us through this.
It's a very Cablasto scene, right? When you take pictures of your significant other, you're like, stand like that.
Yeah.
Put your hands in the air.
Do it like
act like you're happy.
Do it like the sexy bartender from Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Yes.
So
that's the man for those not paying attention. Who's dressed like a woman. Yes.
This was funny because also my wife looked up and this woman is posing by the bushes and her scarf is there. And my wife's like, watch that scarf. It's going to be a snake next time, which they didn't do. Yeah. I thought that would have been good because I thought
your wife is much more observant than I am.
I thought, they're setting this up because we're going to go back with the camera after you cut. And that scarf will be a snake.
Like pick up the scarf and then it's a snake. Yeah, that would make sense.
But instead, the guy taking the picture, he looks through the camera.
Yes.
And he just goes, ah. And then we see the snake
jumping at the camera.
Eat the camera. Yeah. The snake is sneaky. Did you name the snake?
No. That wasn't supposed
to. I think the snake's name is Slippery Johnson. How about that?
Good God. That's very in line with this movie.
Yes, it is.
I would have just gone with Jake the Snake.
Because that's good too.
Yeah. So anyway, I mentioned the hospital scene. We're there now.
You did, yeah.
The stitches.
Stitches.
Yep.
The ladies are driving around.
Yeah.
Were they attacked again?
Back at Edie, she gets a call from Rowdy. The lady listens in. Edie goes to pick them up. So that's what happens. So,
but for some reason they have to make a phone call. That's where I am in my notes.
Okay. So
the plot from here on is just running around and avoiding both gangsters and a toxic snake.
Yes, but the major thing is Edie goes to pick up the guys because they need a ride because their Jeep stopped working. They said anyway. So Edie goes to pick them up, and then that's when we see the woman switch into the man.
Right.
Michelle takes up the wig and is immediately a man. Another naked lady came in and told her how good breasts are a great asset and leaves for no reason, just more nudity. And then
but she doesn't even shut the door. As soon as she walks out the door, she's like, off with this wig.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like the fastest change I've ever seen. Anyway, and so they run. They know where Edie's going, so they run her off the road and kidnap her.
That's right.
Key to the plot.
Yes.
And then Donna and Taryn go to the beach and they witness a guy playing frisbee. And
Shades.
Shades. Yep.
Shades is the guy. He's supposed to be guarding the drug den, but he's often playing frisbee with this girl.
Yep.
That's it. Same thing every day. Doesn't try to hit on her. Doesn't try to tell her to go away.
Exactly.
Just frisbee.
And they've got their Sony Handycam Sports that they're recording with.
Another thing about my wife, I was like, what is that yellow thing? She's like, that's the camera back there.
They had Sony had a Walkman that had the same style.
Wow.
Is that chunky yellow?
Yep. Chunky?
Chunky.
Okay.
It was like thicker than a normal Walkman.
Oh, I thought that was the name of the color.
No.
Chunky yellow.
No, I'm saying like the build of the
You're talking to someone who knows about art, and I'm like, what's he trying to pull over my head? Chunky yellow.
Oh, yes, chunky yellow. Yes, clearly is that shade. Anyway, so the point is they found out Edie's been kidnapped through watching these people. They see her
That's right.
They show up at the base. Yes.
And she sees the same ring on the finger of the man who's a woman.
Yes.
She's like, he looks familiar.
Yes. Yeah. And that's how they figure out that it's the same person.
She's like Sherlock Holmes.
She is. I'm skipping over the stupid jokes of the sumo scene. Who cares? Donna closes the bar, finds out Michelle's not there. Then they go and find the honeymooners, and they're all torn up. They find the Polaroid camera.
Of course, it's the snake, right?
Yeah. And they pull it out, and all of a sudden, the picture comes out that they say it was stuck in there, and it starts to develop, and it's the snake jumping at them.
Yes.
Of course, which that's not how that camera works at all. Then we have...
But they find the other diamonds, by the way.
Okay.
Remember?
No, I didn't, but it would make sense.
Yeah, so like, what's... Because they're looking at the dead bodies in the grass.
Yes.
Like, let's get out of here. This is icky. But they do find the other diamonds.
Okay, that makes sense with the plot. Because the plot's very important to this movie. Then we have the whole, which I'm going to blaze through this, the Jimmy John Jackson football interview scene.
Oh, yeah. Where did I wrote down their names because there's some weird names in here. Jimmy John Jackson and Billy Blue Shoes. I didn't write his name down. I failed.
Okay.
And Slippery Joe.
So JJJ, Triple J, J. Jonah Jameson.
We can't tell you what happens here either.
No, I can't. So he says a bunch of complicated questions.
Football.
Yeah, football questions.
Just football.
And then the guy he's interviewing drops the N-word.
6 yards in the air. Now, time running out, no more timeouts, and all that pressure. What was it that you told those guys in that huddle? How did you call the play?
Well, Jimmy John, all I said was D, and white guys keep them out if you can on two.
Yeah.
And then the other guy swears too. And then they stop filming, and Whitey comes over wearing shorts, which just looks alarming, and says that their career is over. Yeah. So, but back in the lady's house, the snake is shown going down into the sewer.
Outside.
Yeah,
it's
outside.
like into the septic tank or something.
But they also say the snake's own toxins will kill it in the next 36 hours.
Yeah, I'm like, so why are you sending it anywhere?
I agree. And also,
let it die at home in peace.
Like I said, I bet they wanted to study it.
Read it a book.
That's right.
Slippery Johnson loved storybooks.
So Rowdy and Donna go to review the tape to form a plan. Of course, they end up
having the most boring sex.
Oh my God.
They just pose.
Confusing sex.
Leaning next to each other.
Yes, very confusing sex. Jade does an annoying thing where he drinks straight from the bottle. And of course,
he's like, let me show you how I mix my vodka. He just takes the bottle from Kieran?
Yeah,
Tyrion, and he's like, it just sticks, just drinks it.
Puts some like lemon in his mouth and then drinks it. Yeah. And then she's like, a spy should do their own thing. It's like, okay, whatever.
Wow.
So who cares? Yes.
Rowdy.
Yes.
Rowdy also wants to suck the nail polish of Kieran's toes.
I did write that down. Yes, I wrote that down.
That's where my wife looked up from her book and was like, ew, what's going on in this movie?
Yeah, she says, you can't control my life. And he says, I don't want to control your life. All I want to do is suck the polish off your toes. Good God.
You know why Rowdy likes to suck polish off of toes?
Why?
I got a backup list.
Why does Rowdy like to suck polish off of toes, Tim?
He needs his daily intake of formaldehyde resin. He's always practicing for that glorious day he's finally able to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
That's pretty good.
He was told by his father that women like to have their nose sucked, but he misheard him. And he also does this to remind him of his father, who he hasn't seen since he went to prison for sucking women's noses while they were sleeping. Random women.
Oh.
Non-consensual.
Oh. Tim, no.
Dan is the greatest at sex, also, I think. Don.
Yes. Wait, who?
Wait,
Rowdy.
Jane? I wrote Dan.
There's no character named Dan.
Oh, Donna is the greatest at sex, I think he says. Is that what he says?
Really? I missed that part. She said, after they had sex, she says, so tell me, what do you feel? And he said, one man's dream is another man's lunch.
Oh, and dinner. You said dream.
Okay.
My wife and I were both like,
one man's dinner is another man's lunch.
What's he saying?
I think what I wrote down makes more sense.
One man's
dream
is another man's lunch? That doesn't make sense. Lunch.
It doesn't.
One man's dream.
One man's dinner is another man's lunch? What? And then she says, "You son of a bitch." So I don't know, man. Regardless, Seth calls Mr. Chang. Thank God Seth calls Mr. Chang and still to kill them all.
Yes. No mercy.
Yeah, so we see a montage of the heroes, quote-unquote heroes, prepping their weapons, including the tiniest pistol you've ever seen.
Yes, guns.
Yeah.
Putting some foreshadowing, putting razor blades on a frisbee.
See, I just wrote down, and a round black object with metallic shiny bits around the edge to create some suspense. And they say, tomorrow we kick ass and take names. So then we've got the amazing frisbee scene with Shade.
Jade says, but I did that yesterday. See, that's a good joke. So I don't know what happens first. I will give it credit. When they approach the drug den.
I can narrate the entire Shade scene, and then you can finish the movie. Okay, frisbee scene is my other favorite scene. So Rowdy asks a local lady if he can run with her. And they get up to Shades, and he's like, "Hey, Colleen, who's that turkey with you?" She goes, "He's just a thrower." Which, when you're in the frisbee that's what you call people.
You should explain. This is the woman who always plays frisbee with Shades, the drug guard.
It is. It's the woman that we saw in one video. Therefore, we know that every day she does it.
And he holds a gun while playing frisbee.
He holds the Uzi, and with his free hand. Yeah, but they did see him set his Uzi down.
Yes.
And so he follows suit again, and he says like, "Oh yeah, let's see you throw one."
I know.
Yeah, and then he goes. The Rowdy says to Colleen, he goes, "Why don't you get lost?" and pulls out a pistol. Mm-hmm. And instead of being scared or anything, she walks away. So he pulls out the pistol, or he says, "Why don't you get lost?" And she isn't scared, and she walks away. And he goes, "Hey, Colleen, you've got a great ass." And she goes, "So do you, Pilgrim." And like, what the hell, man?
That happened all while the guard was putting his gun down.
Yes, exactly. And then Shade says, "You don't look so hot to me." And he's like, "Oh yeah." So he switches the frisbees, and he says, "Oh yeah, then catch this." He goes, "This is for the Molokai cops."
Right.
And he throws the frisbee, and it goes slow motion, the frisbee with razor blades on the edge, and it goes through Shade's hand and into his neck.
Carotid artery.
Yeah, and he falls on the ground and just bleeds to death, choking.
Yep.
So then Rowdy calls in everyone else. And then, Tim, do you want to talk about the scene?
It's a nice scene that the ultralight and the Jeep line up coming at us.
How does
and Kieran is dropping bombs. Or Donna. Donna's dropping bombs.
Donna's dropping noise bombs.
Also exploding things, yeah.
Yeah, they call them noise bombs.
Donna kills the drag queen I have here.
Yep. They basically
he has claw hands.
Yeah, tiger.
Tiger.
All of a sudden he has tiger claws.
Oh, is that what Donatello had? In the tiger claws?
No.
Nope. Okay. Oh, so they get into where Edie's been tortured and she's tied up, by the way.
Yes.
And Jade gets in there to... I think Jade releases her, or is it Rowdy?
So first of all, the other person they had the stocking over his face, he's shooting at them. Uh-huh. And Rowdy pulls out the bazooka and shoots that dude, and he goes flying through the wall.
Right.
He's dead. Yeah. Then Jade goes to free Edie. Mm-hmm. And do you have the line written down?
I didn't. He just says you're pretty sexy getting tortured like that.
Good God. No, Tim.
No. Is it worse?
It's worse. He goes, "Wait a minute. This is sensational."
Yeah.
Then he goes, "Kinky sex." As its own thought. And then he goes, "I'll go get the midgets and the whips."
Oh.
Awful.
Wow. How did I forget that?
Awful.
How did I forget that?
As he's talking to Edie, as she's tied up and has
blood.
Stuff over her mouth. Yeah, she's not gagged, and I wrote down he's the worst. And then he takes his thing off her mouth, and then they kiss.
Yeah.
Then Rosie and the fat guy. Rosie's like this martial arts lady. She's the one who beats you upside the head with the nunchuck.
Oh yeah, she was big in this movie. They showed her working out a lot.
Yeah, and then
sweaty,
she
working
didn't
out.
Do anything?
Nope.
Then she runs into the helicopter, and then Donna says like, "Get out of there," and then they don't, and then she blows them up with a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
And then Taryn's like, "Far out. That was really gnarly."
And they all go home.
No, Donna's like, "This isn't make-believe. This is real life."
You love these lines.
Yeah, I do. And then she goes to Rowdy, isn't that right, numb nuts? And he goes, I love it when you talk dirty. So like they just murdered people, and then she's trying to like bring some humanity to it, and then immediately they just go back to like what? Then they're in the van. They need a ride, so they take a van. And they're like, celebrating. Yeah, they're celebrating. And then they're
drinking wine.
Yeah, sure. And then they say, who got that bastard Seth?
Right.
And in the most comedic scene, like that wasn't meant to be comedic, all of a sudden out of the back of the van on a dirt bike,
right,
Rowdy shoots out. Okay.
Just him. They're like, you go look for him.
Just him. No conversation, just like comedically timed. Right. He jumps out. Next thing you know, we're back at Donna's place. She's alone and she's cleaning up.
Yeah.
Seth shows up and tries to attack her. And she goes and gets a harpoon gun.
Hey, did you not notice what this was?
What? The Halloween reference?
Yeah, they reenacted the end of Halloween.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to skip that.
No. So
she kills him. He gets up. She goes to the closet.
She hides in a closet. He's breaking the panes like in Halloween.
Halloween.
And she puts together a harpoon gun and shoots Seth through the shoulder with it.
And
Halloween, it was a clothes hanger in the eye. Yeah. So
then she goes and sits by the toilet going, wiping off the blood with toilet paper or something.
Yes. And so Rowdy's still riding on the dirt bike. Like they show him again.
Yeah.
And I wrote no idea why Donna's alone since they're all in the van together. So then Donna fights Seth again and ends up in the bathroom. And she flushes the toilet randomly, and a snake comes shooting out of the toilet.
It's the toilet paper, yeah. It explodes.
Yeah, it explodes. And this giant snake comes shooting out, which I don't think, that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. At all.
They just had some extra explosives.
Yeah. So anyway, she leaves the bathroom, and of course her top's all wet.
Right.
And then Seth is still on the ground, so she flops to one side of the bed, and he doesn't realize.
For some reason, I don't know why she even hid. She could have run out of that house.
She wanted to lure Seth in, and so Seth then goes into the bathroom.
Yes,
and he gets his face bit by the snake.
Yes, okay,
and then he's really dead.
Are we sure?
Yes, it's got to be.
You sure?
You got to be.
Sure about that?
So the snake comes out of the bathroom. Donna shoots it in the head with her tiny gun, and then Rowdy comes plowing through the wall with his dirt bike and uses the rocket launcher to blow up just the head of a snake.
Yes.
Like everything else is fine in the room. Just the head gets blown off. So where did the hell? So I wrote, I'm moving into quoting the lines of the movie, actually. Not okay. It's not my commentary. These are lines of the movie. So Rowdy said, where the hell did the snake come from? And Donna says, would you believe up through the toilet? And then Rowdy says, just when you thought it was safe to take a pee.
Yeah.
You love it. You love it.
You love it. I love it.
Cut to them all in a limo.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. Donna's putting on brass knuckles under the bandage because she had the knife wound. They go to Mr. Chang's place because he's the brain.
He's at the top. He's at the penthouse in this building.
He's the brains. Chinese mother and British father, raised in Hong Kong and London. His bodyguard is a sophisticated killer. Is what they say. Then they walk in, and there's this bodyguard, and all they do is beat him with the nunchucks like a baton. And he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. And then they say, Mr. Chang, it's all over. And he said, in a pig's ass.
He pulls out a sword.
Yes. And then goes to throw it at them. And he says, bring you a knife to a gunfight. And they blast him. Donna pulls out a big gun. Blast him, and he goes out the window. And a guy I don't even know who the hell he is outside, goes, ooh, man. So, Mr. Chang
falls in front of them.
Yeah, in front of them.
In the limo.
Yes, a human just splatted on the sidewalk.
Real human.
Yes, and he goes, ooh, man, I've heard of guys being dropped for a loss before, but this is really radical. What the hell?
I never heard that term.
I've never heard that term. I don't know who this character is.
I think he's the vitamin guy.
Oh, I think you're right.
He takes a vitamin that that removes his emotions. So that's why he
his
didn't care.
empathy, yes. So his humanity. This one, you'll piss out your humanity. You'll be the envy of the bathroom. Anyway.
That's the end.
Well, Donna shot the guy. There's a sword in the wall. He says, "Thanks, kiddo. I probably would have missed the son of a bitch." Because remember, he can only hit things with the bazooka.
Right. Got it.
Yep.
Got it.
And then then they're on the boat, the Malibu Express, and Terrence says she's the only one who knows where the other diamonds are. Since she's not a law official, they can share the diamonds with everyone.
Yep. Totally illegal.
Yeah. Cut to the end, and then cut to the theme song again.
Revenge, wherever you are, wherever you're hiding, I'll find you.
Revenge. One of us will die.
Who's most likely to find a dead hippie in their Bolivia Airbnb? And these guys are going on a trip. They're rich.
Yep.
They're rich. Come on, this writes itself. So who would find a dead hippie in their Airbnb? I think it'd be Jade.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because he would accidentally kill the bellboy. Oh, no. Rowdy accidentally killed the bellboy, and he hid it in Jade's closet as a joke. The bellboy was on a skateboard. It was just, I don't know. Come on, help me out here. Why did he kill the bellboy?
I'd like to see it work, Tim. Let's see. The bellboy was carrying in the skateboard for a rich customer, and they're like, "That's the skateboard that got away. We got to get it."
God, you got it.
Yeah, so he pulled out his rocket launcher and he blew away the hippie bellboy. And then they had to hide him, and he hid him in the hot tub. And he said,
the hot tub?
Yes, he said no one will go in there. But of course, that's where everyone goes. So.
Oh, right, hot tub. Yeah.
Yep.
But then Jay did go in.
Yes. Well, technically it'd be the ladies because they had to think.
The ladies.
They had to think about something. They went out for dinner and they said, "Ladies, what do you want for dinner?" And they're like, "Ooh, I don't know. I have to think about it. There's so many nice options, but the only way I can think is in the hot tub." So then they went to the room and then they found, so it was the ladies actually. It was Donna and Karen, your favorite, who found the dead
But
body.
they get in first. They don't notice the water's all bloody.
Yes.
And then Jade comes in and just like this movie, he'd say, "Oh, that time of the month, ladies."
That's good.
That's what this movie would say, not what I would say.
I know. I'm saying that's good because it's on brand with this movie.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
There.
That's good.
Killed it.
I think that was one of the better ones.
George is jealous.
Yeah, good job. Do you want to do your revenge? I'm not doing one.
Okay. I wrote it.
Do it. I'm ready.
I'm making my revenge stories shorter and shorter, and this is very short.
Okay. I'm excited to hear it.
Start the music. Is it going?
Revenge.
So that snake, when it went into the septic system, unbeknownst to us, for the sequel's purposes, it laid eggs, just like in Critters.
Ooh.
It spawned 6 toxic infested super snakes, and they start to terrorize the island. But our heroes, Kieran, Donna, Rowdy, and Jade.
Yes,
both. They were topless and relaxing in a hot tub. Jade was showing them how you like to drink vodka by like drinking out of the bottle and not sharing it with them.
He does that with every version of alcohol.
Yes.
How do you like to drink bourbon? How do you like to drink tequila? Yes. Anyway, continue.
Back then, people had beepers and they turned theirs off.
Yes.
Not cell phones. Thus, unable to reach them, the governor brings in a toxic, infested mongoose to the island to kill these snakes.
Smart.
Yep. And meanwhile, our heroes are having some great sex before getting back in the hot tub to think. And meanwhile, the toxic mongoose and the toxic snakes have a fight. And they bring their fight to downtown Honolulu. The snakes learn to use guns, and the mongoose learns to use a flamethrower, and people flee town as they wreak havoc in the streets. Meanwhile, Rowdy in the hot tub, he turns up the heat in the hot tub and asks if anyone needs nail polish sucked off their toes. Because they still don't know what's going on. And the mongoose and the snake, they take their fight into the governmental offices and they set the whole place on fire. Meanwhile, back at the hot tub, Jade loses the beads his mother gave him and they clog up the filter of the hot tub.
We never mentioned that.
We never mentioned when he had a fight, some beads fell on the floor and he's like, my mother gave those to me.
Yeah.
So downtown, the governmental offices burn. They all burn up inside. But meanwhile, in the hot tub, The water becomes slimy and dirty due to the filter breaking. And Jade is able to get Kieran and Donna and Rowdy out before they get a skin rash, but they collapse and take a nap. Back downtown, as the government building burns, a young guy who works at the Baskin-Robbins across the street. He runs in to, help. You know your history?
No.
He ran into that fire and he karate chopped the heads off all the snakes, and he stared down the rabid mongoose who died of fright. And after this happened, because you know who this was?
St. Patrick?
He seized the opportunity as he was in the government offices and had been burned down. He typed up a fake birth certificate while nobody was around.
Oh, God.
This was young Barack Obama. He worked at Baskin-Robbins. I visited the one he worked at when I went to Hawaii.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I went to where he served. So, no one was around. And
I like how you say served is in the military.
Served.
Okay, served. Okay. Well, technically, he served ice cream at Baskin-Robbins.
Yes,
so
he did.
I like that even better.
So no one's around. He typed up his birth certificate, so it looked like he was born in the United States. And later, Donna, Kieran, and Jade and Rowdy, they go to eat at Edie's restaurant, where Ashley tells Donna and Kieran that it's Support Our Naval Officers Day, so he hopes you're ready for a lot of semen. And then Donna murders him, because that's what I want to happen.
That's good.
The sequel's called Obama, Hero or Villain. There you go.
It's good. It's good.
Oh, we talk so long.
You say that every freaking time I'm on here. So
I'm going to end it quick. Next week, George is back from his tour, and we're going to go to Colorado to watch a movie called Destroyer from 1988, I think. It's got a Mr. Psycho in it, Anthony Perkins.
It's 88.
Did we get mail? So there's no mail. We'll end it here. Hey, it was great having you here.
Oh,
amazing.
I had so much fun. Oh, those lists.
Listen to
Oh, my God.
Spaghetti and Freddy with you and Yoli.
I should be paying you.
Send us letters, Seddy Bimco with the E, gmail.com. Just listen to us on all the socials.
Yeah, just have fun.
I'm not on Facebook or Twitter. That's all.
Oh.
You can follow us everywhere. Instagram, website. Like us. Give us some reviews on Amazon. And come back next week for more laughs, more lists.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Thanks again, Kevin.
Thank you, Tim.
Bye.
I had a kablast.
So did I.
This has been a Pity Party Line production.
Party line, it's a party line.
Penis.
Yeah, and being very religious, he once had his penis bitten off by a snake handler at the Garden of Eden strip club.
Okay.
Forget it. Scratch this list.
That's the funniest part.